Let's bring in former senior Trump advisor and Trump's 2020 and 2016 campaign advisor, Corey Lewandowski. Corey, thank you so much for joining us.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Thank you for having me.
So are even you surprised that Trump is literally sweeping it up every single primary? How unprecedented is something like this for a candidate that people thought he shouldn't even run? They're trying to put him in prison, and here he is winning by like 30 points. He beat Nikki Haley in her own backyard.
Well, this is historic, obviously. No candidate in the history of the Republican Party, other than an incumbent, has done what Donald Trump is doing, meaning he won in Iowa, New Hampshire, South Carolina, Nevada, Michigan. Look, Super Tuesday is the final nail in Nikki Haley's political coffin. The race is over. She didn't even qualify for the ballot in some of these states. When you look at what happened in Nevada, she got no delegates because she didn't even understand what the process looks like. Donald Trump, by every measure, by every metric, by every fathomable notion, is the Republican nominee for president of the United States. And honestly, it's time for Nikki Haley to get out of this race so that we can keep our eyes squarely focused on defeating Joe Biden.
Why is she staying in the race? There's a lot of speculation going on. Is she thinks she's a third-party candidate? Is she hoping something will happen to Trump?
Look, I believe Nikki Haley has this illusion of grandeur that people are telling her she should stay in the race, which is usually the political consultants who are getting rich off of her. She has some donors who hate this country more than they love Donald Trump. They hate Donald Trump more than they love this country. They're vice versa. It's interchangeable, right? They don't want to see what's best for this country, so they're continuing to fund Nikki Haley, and she's going out and wasting their dollars. Look, we've seen this time and time again. These outside groups think they're all going to defeat Donald Trump, only to come out and now say that they can't even support Nikki Haley. The Koch network has backed off of their support because they know this is a futile effort. So if we really want to make our country great again, and we want to stop the border crisis, and we want to put Americans back to work, and we want to protect working families, it's time to unify behind Donald Trump. Nikki Haley has no path. She will not win the D.C. primary. She will not win on Super Tuesday. She lost her home state on multiple occasions. And those elected officials that are supporting her have such Trump derangement syndrome, they should just come out, step away, have an honest conversation with Nikki that this race is over and it's time to support Donald Trump.
I know at this point, what's more important, the party or the country? Do you think this movement, it's bigger than Donald Trump at this point? It's about bringing our country back from the brink of disaster, from the border to inflation, drugs, it goes on and on. I don't think anyone realized just how much devastation and damage would happen in just 3 short years.
Well, it's amazing because when you look at the public polling data, Donald Trump is now receiving 22 to 28% of the African-American vote. That's unprecedented for a Republican. You look at where he is with Hispanics. You look at where he is with all of the minority communities across this country. And Donald Trump has grown the Republican Party because, as you said, this is bigger than Donald Trump. People have now been living under the Joe Biden malaise of government for 3 years, and they hearken back to the days where Donald Trump is in the White House, where our enemies fear us, our allies respect us, our economy is booming again, we have a safe and secure border. Those days are not that far in the rearview mirror, and they can come back to us, but that only occurs when Donald Trump takes the oath of office on January 20th of next year.
What do you think of Mitch McConnell stepping down? It's interesting. It happened like in the middle of the week. We know he's 82 years old. He's also had some health problems. He would freeze at times. So why now all of a sudden? What do you think?
Well, look, I think that most people in the MAGA movement are happy that Mitch McConnell is stepping down. Donald Trump, President Trump, has weighed in that he thinks Senator Steve Daines from Montana should potentially look at running for that seat as the next majority leader. I think Senator Daines is a great candidate. Look, the bottom line is this. Mitch McConnell got elected to the U.S. Senate at 42 years old, and when he finishes his term, he'll be 84 years old, literally half of his life in the U.S. Senate. That's not what it's supposed to be. It's time for new leadership. It's time for a change. And there is no question now, there is no question that Donald Trump is the head of the Republican Party. Mitch McConnell finally realizes that. And Mitch is stepping down after November when Donald Trump is sworn in as the next president of the United States.
As a campaign manager, what do you think about President Trump highlighting migrant crime? You know, he's getting a lot of backlash for it. They're calling him racist. But he's right. I mean, you've seen the recent headlines. We saw what happened to 22-year-old, nursing student. She was simply jogging on campus when she was attacked, brutally attacked by an illegal alien that had been arrested 2 times before. Do you think it's resonating, the issue? Because the illegal alien crisis, it's a tangible issue that people are seeing with their own eyes. And it's something that the Biden administration can't simply lie about anymore.
What has the Biden administration said? These are new residents. These aren't illegal immigrants. These are new people who are coming in. Look, the truth is this. The issue of illegal immigration cuts across every socioeconomic status, every race, every religion, every political ideology. If that wasn't the case, people like Mayor Adams in New York City wouldn't be calling to end the sanctuary city process. And what are we seeing now? Greg Abbott in Texas and those Republican governors who have supported him have decided they're going to unify to send National Guard troops to the border because Joe Biden has failed. By doing that, Texas is seeing a massive decrease in those border crossings. And so what are those immigrants doing? They're going to California. We have now seen over 10 million individuals enter this country illegally. If that was a state, I think it would make it the 8th or 9th largest state in America. So this issue is one that Donald Trump has been talking about since that poor woman, Kate Steinle, was killed in San Francisco by an illegal alien back in 2015, 2016. This issue has not gone away. It's only gotten worse. And people, regardless of their ideology, regardless of their socioeconomic status, their political philosophy, their economic status, they want this issue resolved. Joe Biden has failed on it. We saw him at the border this week looking feeble and frail and barely able to walk. And you juxtapose that to where Donald Trump was shaking hands with those men and women standing in the breach to make sure that at Eagle Pass, nobody else comes into this country. The American people are ready for that change, and they're ready to stop this massive war zone, which is transpiring on the southern border.
It is indeed an invasion. Corey Lewandowski, thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.